Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Fillets. I am the competitions manager admin at Move United, and it is my pleasure to bring to you today Junior Nationals 102. So this will build on Junior Nationals 101 for those of you that have already listened to that. So this is a little more information that we want you to know before you hit the ground running in Metro Denver on July 16th through 22nd for the 2022 Move United Junior Nationals presented by the Hartford. So the first thing that's probably the most important is to talk about a packing list for everybody. So we want to make sure, whether this is your first time, your second time, or if you've been coming for 10 to 15 years, that everybody knows what they need to bring with them for Junior Nationals. So for an individual perspective, we want to make sure that everybody's bringing sunscreen or whatever you're going to use for sun protection. Colorado is hot, hot, hot. It's going to be the middle of the summer. Most of our events, a good chunk of them, are completely outdoors. While we will have some shade coverings, there will be times that you're competing or when you're walking around and you want to make sure that you have a high sunscreen that you like to use that you can apply. And then you also have sun protection. So sun protection would include like UV protectant clothes, breathable clothing. We also want to make sure that when you're traveling, that you travel with all medications that you may need while on site. There are pharmacies, of course, nearby from where we're at, as well as medical centers, but the easiest thing to do is just to bring your own medications if you think you may need them on site. This can include for those with asthma or breathing difficulties, possibly inhalers or any kind of inhaled medication that they may need to take. Remember, we are competing at altitude and we are competing in the heat. So think about that when you plan your medication list for Junior Nationals. Water, 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 water. I'm by no means telling you to pack all the water you can think of, but make sure that you have vessels for water, that you're carrying water bottles with you on site daily to all of our events, that you can remain and stay hydrated throughout the week. But water is probably the most important thing that we want everybody to be thinking about, water and sunscreen throughout the week. Lawn chairs. So some of our outdoor venues have bleachers. Other ones, it might be more comfortable for spectators to watch from lawn chairs. So if you would like to bring those, go ahead and pack those, or you can purchase those when you get into town if you're traveling. And then the last part was we wanted to make everyone aware that we will have an app that everyone should download before arriving or arrived when they arrive on site at Junior Nationals, that will have all our information for the week and will be your go-to for most information. We'll talk about that a little later during this session. For teams that are traveling, so if you are a coach or a team representative that will be representing your team on site, we do allow team tents. So if we're looking at track and field day and other events that would be outside, we do allow team tailgate tents. In the past, at different venues, they have been located on a grassy knoll. This year, our team tent area will be on a pavement surface. So we need some way to stake, without stakes, your tent down. So you need sandbags or water bags to secure your tent this year. We do have assigned areas for team tents in the parking lot for track and field days. And in that area, we will just need those tents that will be set up in the tent area to be secured. So in case you leave during the day, we don't have tents slipping and flying if we get a little bit of wind. So think of a way to secure your team tent. We really like collapsible water jugs. So they make those for tents. They travel really easy. They can push down and get really small. And then you just fill them on site with water, attach them to your tent, you're good to go. Make sure teams that you're traveling with any maintenance tools that you might need. So this could be air compressors for tires. This could be wrenches and I'm going to blank on it. Wrenches and any other equipment like screwdrivers and other pieces for adjusting chairs and prosthetics on site. Ice. We want to make sure that teams know that they need to bring their own ice on site. So coolers for ice and bringing your own ice. We will have ice on site, but it only will be available to medical. So teams need to come prepared with an ice plan because it will get hot. We want to make sure you guys are able to keep your drinks and your athletes cool on site. No oxygen, same from last year, will be available on site at the medical tent. So any athletes that might need oxygen, whether due to the altitude or from just a medical standpoint, need to be aware that backup oxygen tanks need to be something that they're prepared with, that we will not have any oxygen even at the medical tent this year for Junior Nationals. So one of the things that we've done differently for Junior Nationals this year is we have done the same map of all of our venues. So this will be available, it is available right now on our website, and will also be in our app. So this is the layout of the 7 places that you need to know in the Metro Denver area where we will be having some form of event. So number 1, you'll see here, let's see if I can circle it. Here we go. Yep, is the Denver Marriott Westminster. So this is our host hotel. Right next to it, number 2 is the Hyatt Place Denver. That's our secondary host hotel right next to it. Number 3, as we move into town a little bit, up to the north is going to be Mountain Range High School. So that will be for our field events and some other events during the week. North Stadium will be our welcome ceremony and our track events throughout the week. That's number 4 right next to it. There's a sidewalk and a walkable path. It's got a little bit of a hill for wheelies, but not bad to get back and forth between the high school, Mountain Range High School and North Stadium. And then if we keep going over to the right, number 5, we have Trailwinds Park, which will see some of our events throughout the week, as well as Veterans Memorial Aquatic Center, which is number 7. That will be our swim events for the week. And number 6, which is the Trailwinds Recreation Center, which will have some events this week. You will notice if you're returning from last year that our host hotel is different. It's a little farther out than our previous hotel. So just make sure you're aware of that when you're looking at what time you need to wake, get breakfast, and then to be able to arrive on site. It's a little bit longer of a drive, but we really like the idea of really having this athlete village between these 3 or 4 hotels that are located in the area for the athletes. Additionally, what we have done is for our high traffic area venues is we've taken the Google map and then kind of overlaid it with information that you need to know as participants and spectators. So for instance, this is the North Stadium, which will be for track and field and the opening ceremony, the welcome ceremony. And this is what the layout is going to be for dropping off, where you're going to set up, etc. So you'll see here, for instance, we've shown you where the driveway is. This is going to be the drop-off zone that has certain times that you can access. It's one way. We'll have pedestrian zones all through here. Team tents are going to be lined back here. You'll see that there. You'll see where bathrooms are going to be. We'll have this team independent tent. So if you are not affiliated with the team and you're looking to get some shade throughout the day, we will have some Move United tents set up for Team Independent. Team Colorado will be out here. We'll have vendors, the Hartford tent and the Move United tent here. This will be our Team Shady community tent. So basically this is our big like wedding style lunch tent that will be set up with tables and chairs throughout the day. That's where lunch will be served, but you can also jump in there to grab some shade throughout the day. We'll have vendors, and then we'll start in with our first staging area for track and field here. You'll notice on our maps that we have this red plus sign. That's where our medical is going to be located. We'll point out the restrooms and viewing areas and other pertinent like bathrooms and spectator parking on all of our maps. So those will be provided for most of our venues, and those will be located in the app. Okay, so specifically for transportation, we wanted to point a few things out because we know most people are not local to Colorado that are joining us. I think our count is 312 this year, athletes from across the country, representing 37 states in total. So we wanted to make you aware that the Denver International Airport is the recommended airport for those traveling to our events via airplane. Most major airlines do fly into DIA and from DIA from Denver. The next closest major airport is Colorado Springs Airport, and that is 82 miles south of Denver. If you're using the Denver International Airport, individuals or groups in need of arrival or departure wayfinding assistance can request support that will be scheduled based on staffing availability between the hours of 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily. Please see Denver's Meet and Assist services for more information on this and submit a request form, and I've dropped the link there for you. For individuals, we ask for a 48-hour advance notice, and for groups, a 7-day advance notice. For larger groups who would like to inquire about shuttle access, group check-ins, or expedited TSA screenings, please email, and I've dropped the email there. On all requests, please indicate Move United in the subject line so they can expedite your process. Ground transportation is the responsibility of each athlete, coach, and family member attending junior nationals. Transportation is not provided by the LOC, which is the local organizing committee, or Move United. There are no parking fees at the host hotel or the event venues. Ample space is available at the host hotel and event venues to park and or store equipment trailers at your own risk. So food and events. So we did want to point out that lunches will be served on site daily, and you have the opportunity to purchase lunches and eat on site, so you don't have to leave while you're participating in events. So those were done during registration. So we already have the counts of who has requested lunch on what days and paid for those. You'll pick up your lunch tickets at check-in with me. We do have a limited number of lunches that will be available, so we pad our number a little over for purchase when you check in at Junior Nationals, or any that are remaining may be available for purchase walk up on site. The welcome ceremony this year is being held at North Stadium, same as last year. It's going to be on Tuesday, and at 6:15, the doors or the gates will open, and we'll begin the staging of athletes. 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. is officially the time for the full ceremony and fun that will be after. So for those of you that have not been to Junior Nationals before, one of the things that we love to do is a welcome ceremony. And our welcome ceremony starts with a parade of athletes. So very Olympic and Paralympic style entrance. We'll actually divide all of the athletes by state that they come from. And we will ask that you march in as your state. So you'll have your state flag and you'll have a state banner, and all the athletes from that state will march into the crowd. They'll be cheering. We'll sit you down. We'll start our programming for the night. So we'll have some guest speakers that come and talk to us. And then at the end of that, we'll wrap up. We'll parade back out, and then we'll start our fun after that. So in that athlete village kind of area that I showed you for track and field, we will be using that for after the welcome ceremony. So we'll have vendors out there, we'll have games, we'll have yard games, we'll have a few dessert trucks. So more information to follow on dessert options that will be available after the ceremony. We do want to ask, because we've pushed the time back a little from last year, that you please eat dinner before arrival. And the reason that we did this is we wanted to eliminate the wait to get to the food tent and get through the food line, and we want to have more time for fun and play. So those options for dessert will be available on site. Again, more information to follow, but please eat before you arrive. And again, stay hydrated, because we will be sitting on that track at 6:30 in the afternoon after we parade in. And then the final piece of our food and events, our big events, is our closing ceremony. So this will be at the Denver Marriott Westminster, which is our host hotel, on Friday from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. At this time, there are no additional tickets for purchase for the meal or the ceremony. So only individuals who have already purchased tickets to the closing celebration will be invited to join for the meal and the ceremony part. But after the ceremony concludes, we will move some tables off of our dance floor and open the full ballroom to everybody, regardless if you've paid for the meal or the ceremony, till 9:30 with our DJE. So we'll have dancing in the closing ceremony room for those that were not able to purchase a ticket for the meal part or the ceremony part of the evening, but we will have open dancing for any athletes that would like to join and family until 9:30 at the Denver Marriott Westminster. Okay, so I told you at the beginning, one of the things that individuals needed to have when they came to Junior Nationals was have downloaded the Junior Nationals app. So this is a new feature for 2022. It's going to be our major communication tool throughout the week. It's going to house the schedule, maps, sport events details, interactive question boards with Move United staff, which will be myself and James Arnold. It'll hold you results, Junior Nationals Challenge, which is a fun new thing we're excited to introduce, sponsor and vendor information, and much, much more. This will be the way that we communicate any emergency communication through this app, including severe weather protocols. So we're going to ask that when you download the app and you create your account, that you turn on your notification, your push notification settings for the event, so that when we send out any communication, it dings to your phone, it's prevalent on your phone, and we'll also send out an email that you'll be getting that. This will be the app that basically displays the entire schedule for the week. You can then go through and self-select the events that you are participating in or would like to participate in, add them to your schedule, and then see a snapshot for the week. Under each event or session, as they're labeled, you'll see information like where that session is being held, any information that you need to know beforehand, any changes, heat sheets when available for download will be provided on there as well. And then any external links that you might need afterwards will all be housed under there. And then after the event is complete, this app will also host, once you are leaving Junior Nationals, whether that's midway through the week, if you're just joining us from the beginning, if you're with us the whole week, or if you're with us the tail end of the week, this will host our post-event evaluation, our survey. So we ask that once you've completed your events, if you will go in and complete our post-evaluation survey so we can see what changes are recommended going into the 2023 year. We do have incentives. We'll do a gift card raffle from everybody that participates in the survey after the event. So we are asking that all athletes and parents that are on site and coaches, please complete the post-event evaluation through the app. Check-in. So check-in will be open during posted hours. One of the things that we noticed last year that we are improving upon for this year is that there were some times where check-in took a very long time because a lot of people were coming in at certain times. So we've thought through a way to expedite a little bit our check-in process. So during check-in times that are posted, anybody can check in. There will just be an open walk-in check-in lane. If you know that you would like to check in at, say, 9:15 on a Tuesday, and we're open at that point in time, there will be a sign-up genius that is circulated that basically no more than 5 minutes before your check-in time, you can move straight into the sign-up genius or reserved services check-in lane, and we'll know you're coming, and we can expedite your process through athlete check-in. So this is a good option for those who know, hey, I'm getting off a flight. I might be there like 30 minutes before check-in closes, or teams that want to come through and need to check in 20 athletes. That gives us a heads up specifically of when you're going to be there so we can make this process go faster. Again, if check-in is open, there will always be a walk-up lane that you can go through, and we'll just filter you in among the people that have registered for a check-in time. So you might have just a little bit longer of a wait, which would be just like normal, but we'll also have that expedited check-in way through Sign Up Genius. So stay tuned for more information on that. And also we wanted to point out that no check-ins will be held outside of posted hours. So make sure that when you're making your travel plans that you plan to make it during an open check-in period, because you will need your credential in order to participate in an event the next day. So some risk management and medical. Medical will be on site during all active competition times. That'll be provided by the Children's Hospital of Colorado. The medical locations, again, will be shown on the venue maps. All athletes are eligible to be seen by medical while they are on site at any time. We did want to remind you that it is summer in Colorado, so it's a dry heat. It might not be the same heat that you're used to wherever you live across the country. So again, water, 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 hydrate, 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 take breaks, take time out of the sun, make sure that you're wearing breathable clothing, etc. Additionally, we want to point out the altitude. So Denver's called the Mile High City. That means we're up a mile over normal elevation. So altitude sickness can be a problem sometimes for athletes who have not traveled to higher altitude before. So please, please, please read the information that we've put out about how you can go ahead and start prepping today for not getting a heat illness or an altitude related sickness while you are on site. This includes getting plenty of rest, taking any medications you normally get, making sure that you are focusing on healthy eating and hydration patterns throughout the week. At the end of this video, Children's Hospital of Colorado has provided a 1-minute snapshot specifically that we'd like everyone to listen to on heat and altitude, so we can kind of try to combat these before they become a problem on site at Junior Nationals. Additionally, we have COVID information for testing, possible exposure, any quarantine protocols, etc. that will be listed in the app. They're also in the information packet and on the website. If you have any questions on that, our contact is Children's Hospital of Colorado. But we have provided closest testing sites, etc., and protocols for any of our situations that may arise on site. We are following Colorado's current COVID guidelines as far as our event protocol. Additionally, we've put together the nearest medical centers, urgent care centers, and hospitals per event venue. So if your athlete does have an emergency occur on site, whether that is in practice or competition, all athletes, coaches, and parents will know the nearest medical center, the nearest urgent care center, and the nearest hospital. And that was provided to us by the Children's Hospital of Colorado. Additionally, the Children's Hospital of Colorado will be advising us on weather protocol. So they will be the ones that will be making calls on lightning, adverse events, excessive heat. If we need to pause the events during the day, they have their own protocols for that. They will be advising us on that and letting us know when we need to pause and when we can resume activities. So we will be looking to them throughout the week for calls on that, and then information will be blasted on our app communication throughout the week. So we have a couple education sessions that we did want to point out that will be held during the week. The first will be on Sunday, and that is from 8 o'clock to 8:30, and that is a new athlete, new coach orientation session. On the 18th, from 3:30 to 5 o'clock at the Marriott Westminster, we'll have an education session entitled Accessing the Pipeline to Competition. On Tuesday, July 19th, from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, we'll have an additional, for those who weren't able to make it to the first session, new athlete and new coach orientation session. On Wednesday, July 20th, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., they'll be at the Marriott Westminster, another education session on mental performance coaching. And our final education session will be on Wednesday, July 20th, from 7:30 to 8:30 at the Marriott Westminster, expanding DEI initiatives in the competitive adaptive sports space. Additionally, we have sport clinics that are woven through the week on top of our official contested 7 sports. So the first kind of set will start on Sunday, which is the 17th. So we'll have an indoor adaptive climbing clinic from 10 to 1. We'll have a swimming clinic from 3 to 6 and a para powerlifting athlete clinic from 7:15 to 8 o'clock p.m. On Monday, July 18th, we will have an indoor adaptive climbing clinic again from 10 to 1. For the adaptive climbing clinics, you do need to register and an external link that's on our website to participate in those. Our shooting 101 clinic will be from 12:30 to 1:15 on the 18th as well. Jumping to the 20th, we will have 2 wheelchair tennis clinics, one from 9 to 10:30 a.m. and 12:30 to 2 o'clock p.m. And on Thursday, the 21st, we'll have a blind soccer clinic from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. and a cycling clinic from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. So just some quick information on local Denver Flair and events. So on our Junior Nationals website, if you go under local hotels and local events, you'll see a list of things to do around Denver that has been provided to us that'll show you a list of things that has been recommended for you to do and check out when you're in town for the week. We also have an additional document that is suggestions from the locals, so accessible hikes, etc., from our local organizing committee that lives on site. And then we have 2 other things that we did want to point out. We talked about them very briefly in 101. I wanted to hit on them one more time for 102. And the first is the free Colorado Rockies Major League Baseball game. So the Colorado Rockies welcome the Junior Nationals community to one of 2 games free of charge as Junior National Week kickoff. 50 complimentary tickets exist on Saturday the 16th and 50 for Sunday the 17th for a 1 p.m. game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Accessible seating is an option. A sign up to claim your spot, it will be launched. You can see right there, you can click on the website to sign up for tickets. And this is on a first come, first served basis with priority given to athletes. So you can even watch the Movie United feature in the pregame show on Saturday. And then the second is discounted Colorado Rapids Major League Soccer games. So Movie United and the Colorado Rapids would like to extend an exclusive discount to you for an upcoming Major League Soccer match. Tickets are available for Saturday, July 16th versus the LA Galaxy. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Accessible seating is also an option. For questions or issues or to learn about other ticketing options, please contact Mario Castro, and his information is below, as well as a link. We also have, if you're in the area and you want to take a little bit of a drive, we highly recommend that you drive up to Colorado Springs and visit the Olympic and Paralympic Museum. And then we'll also have additional ideas of things to do on site when you are in the check-in room, checking in for Junior Nationals. And that concludes Junior Nationals 102. Again, my name is Ashley Fillets, and I am the competition manager at Move United. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have before arriving on site. I can be reached via email at FALLAIZE, Fillets, at moveunitedsport.org. We look forward to seeing everyone in Metro Denver in a few short weeks, and go start acclimating, have fun. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Emily Sweeney, and I'm the medical director for the 2022 Move United Junior Nationals. Children's Hospital Colorado is excited to be providing coverage for the athletes at this competition. We will be at the competitions in case any athlete has a medical issue. If you have a medical concern outside of competition, please reach out to your medical provider or see our list of nearby hospitals and urgent cares. If there's an emergency, please call 911. Our medical team will monitor for severe weather conditions, including heat, lightning, and tornadoes. The event staff will make announcements via the communication app or the PA system if there are weather conditions that make competition unsafe. The most common weather threat in Colorado is lightning. An event delay will be implemented if lightning strikes within 10 miles of an outdoor event. In the event of a lightning delay, attendees should seek shelter inside fully enclosed grounded vehicles or buildings. An announcement will be made when it is safe to return to play. The sports medicine team uses best practices for monitoring core body temperature if there's concern for a heat illness. If needed, rapid cooling is used before transport. During the competition, we will have athletic trainers on site at a medical tent. Pediatric sports medicine physicians will either be present or be available by phone. We will not have an ambulance on site, but we work closely with EMS in the area, and they are on call if we do need them. Our team is trained to help with anything from minor injuries, such as blisters, bruises, and ankle sprains, to more severe issues, such as concussions and heat stroke. If an athlete has a medical issue, please come to the Children's Hospital medical tent. We do not have COVID testing on site, but if you need testing, we have QR codes and information through the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. We ask that you bring a mask to the tent when you come, but we do have masks available as well. As a reminder, Denver is the Mile High City, which means altitude sickness is a possibility. Please remember to stay hydrated before you come to Denver and during your stay here. The combination of intense sun, altitude, and high temperatures in Denver can also lead to heat illness. So make sure you have water available and sunscreen, and remember to take frequent breaks in the shade or in a cool area. Please see the altitude and climate tips handout on the Move United website. Please also remember to bring all of your regular medications with you. This includes inhalers and EpiPens. We will not have oxygen on site, so please plan accordingly. We are excited to support all the athletes at this great event, and we hope you have a safe and successful competition. Welcome to Denver.